We are live. All right,
Woo.
everybody, welcome back to the Week Too Late podcast. This is a special episode because we just got back from watching none other than Project Hail Mary. And I have a little friend I brought home with me, and I'm not talking about Zoe. It's Rocky. He's awesome. We're going to talk about all things spoilers, all of our thoughts, opinions, feelings, and where we're going to rank this movie in the sci-fi genre as a whole, because I have some thoughts and some comparisons. So let's just get right into it.
Let's get right into it.
Zoe,
Yes.
what did you think of Project Hail Mary?
I loved it. I will start off by saying I'm not a sci-fi person typically. Like, it's never really been my forte. I'm not really, this is gonna be so controversial already. Not a Star Wars fan, not a Star Trek fan, not anything fan when it comes to those type of things. But you can convince me to watch space movies. I don't know why. It's just like the one part of like the sci-fi genre that I'm interested in, and this one hit it out of the park.
Did Ryan Gosling help to convince you to watch it? Yeah.
Yes.
Did the cute little alien help convince you to watch it?
Honestly, I think they did such a good job with the promo of everything and like the things that I've seen that I was already going into it knowing I'd like Rocky. But yeah, he was a really great part of the film as well.
Yeah.
What did you think of Project Hail Mary?
Well, similar to you, like I'm not really a big sci-fi fan, and I really wasn't convinced on watching this until I saw the Ryan Gosling Super Bowl commercial where he threw that football like a cool guy.
That is not true at all.
Yeah, no, I was beyond excited. I was so hyped to watch this, and I can confidently say that it lived up to my expectations.
I mean, you have bought the book before even discussions of it being a movie was a thing.
I bought the book. I bought the popcorn bucket behind me a full week before I even saw the movie.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't see it when it first came out, because that would have been the good thing to do if you have a YouTube channel talking about movies, was because I was on vacation. That's the only reason it took me so long to watch it. I was so excited. And going into it, all I wanted was The Martian, but different.
Yeah.
You know, like with the unique story to tell, and it's what it feels like. There's some tweaks here and there. Obviously, it's much different than The Martian, but it has that same vibe and cinematic style and humor.
And he had every chance to watch it while he was on vacation, but it worked out for me because then that means I got to see it with him.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that fact.
Yeah, I don't want to leave you out.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to basically just talk about how the movie opens, because it did some interesting things, and then from there we'll go ahead and dive into the rest of the movie, talk about, you know, all of that stuff. It's not going to be a play-by-play. I don't really enjoy doing a play-by-play, because if you want a play-by-play, then I would recommend just watching it personally.
Exactly. I agree.
But yeah, so the movie opens in a way that I definitely wasn't expecting. I expected from the trailer, from everything that we'd seen about it, what I've heard about it, I thought it was going to start with him in the classroom.
Yeah.
And then him getting, you know, found by that government official and then brought into the program. I thought we were going to see him launch into space on the rocket and be terrified and then get his bearings while he was up there. The movie doesn't start that way.
No.
The movie starts with him coming out of a coma, already in the Project Hail Mary capsule, and then him, as well as the audience, not knowing what's going on. And there's a mystery right from the onset. And I thought, really good idea, really good way to kind of set up the mystery.
It grabs your attention instantly.
Yeah,
so.
But I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
What did you think about the opening?
I agree. I wasn't expecting it either. I thought the same thing as you. And that leads into one of the things that, like, I liked, but typically it's a little bit hard to do with it's like the timeline jumps. And they did it a lot. It's just like reading a book, as if it was like present tense and then it's like a year earlier or like whatever. I don't know how much time was actually in between the two. But it worked out for this film, I think, really well, because the camera crew knew what they were doing. There were so many good ways that they had directed this camera crew, where there was like fun twists that like led into the next scene, and like different colors and stuff that were spread across like the animations of it, I guess.
The transitions from the present to the flashbacks very well thought out.
Really good. And perfect. They were really good timing too. Like, I felt like I got enough of each section that we were in that when it transitioned, I was never really that disappointed because I was like, okay, I got enough of that part. So I'm ready for it to show me either the past or the present. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I think the beginning, I really enjoyed that it started out that way because it made you guess, it grabbed your attention instantly. But I definitely thought it was going to be like one chronological story. So I kind of liked that. It shocked me like that for sure.
Yeah, I was surprised because Zoe knows this. I don't think I've really talked about this on my channel because I haven't seen a film that I've reviewed that's had this. I hate flashbacks. Yeah, I think it's lazy storytelling. I think it's very bad. For some reason, and I think it was the pacing that Zoe alluded to, it works. And I didn't have any problems with it. I was actually, this is wild that I'm going to say this. I was excited when we went back to the past and learned about the program and the discoveries he was making before he got on the ship.
Wow.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I never am like that. I stopped watching The Arrow that was on CW. You know, obviously quality issues as the seasons go on. CW shows notoriously just take a nosedive off the Olympic top rope. They
really do.
Yeah. But at a point, the Arrow shows were like 30 minutes long. Damn near 18 minutes of it was a flashback. And I'm just like, if that's the case, just go ahead and make the prequel show. Yeah. Like, I don't know. So anyway, very well done. And I wanted to pick up on the pacing. The pacing in this movie, I don't think there's a 10-minute stretch anywhere that could have been cut, deleted, shortened, sharpened. I think this pacing is phenomenal.
Yeah. It was really well. I will say towards the end, there was a moment for me where I was like starting to feel like it was a little long, but I enjoyed the film and I enjoyed the story so much that it didn't bother me. Like I was sitting there going, I feel like I've kind of been sitting here for a really long time, but I don't know if that's just because they were able to cram so much of this story and so much like information and just action and like all this stuff into the film. I don't know if it was just because I had already seen so much that I was like, man, I feel like I'm sitting here a really long time.
Yeah.
Or if maybe I really was sitting there a long time, but like,
well, it was 2 hours and 50 minutes.
But I didn't care, you know? Like I noticed it, I recognized it, but I was like, didn't bother me. I was so invested in it that I was just like, all right, I'm willing to sit here for another hour if I have to, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a solo review on this movie just because I don't want to, have I want to have a non-spoiler review for the people out there who want to watch that.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest points I'm gonna make is this is one of those movies that you just don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Like it's a long movie. It's approaching in-game territory in terms of length, and you're just sitting there like, come on, keep going. I'm here. Yeah. Like there's a moment that we're gonna talk about in depth later, I'm sure, where it is the ending of the movie and he's on the alien planet and they built him like a human-sized one of these. And I'm like, cool. I could watch that movie right now.
Yeah.
Like I could watch another hour and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
which people are saying that there might be like an extended version because like I guess that there's like book adaptations do this a lot where they make like an extended version. So they have the one that they release and then they have the other ones for people who actually read the book and don't want like any of those scenes being taken out. Because sometimes they do that. They have to have a time, and if certain scenes take too long and they fill up too much time, then they'll cut them. So I've noticed and I've heard that a lot of these book adaptations are keeping those scenes, but they're saving it for the fans of the book and making like a 4-hour-long movie for like some of the fans. I don't know if Project Hail Mary is doing this, but I've heard that it's a possibility.
I wouldn't be down for that for like the Housemaid or anything, but I would.
Yeah, or like the Hunger Games is a big one people are talking about right now.
Yeah.
Because apparently there was supposed to be one for Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I don't think we ever got that. So
we own it on physical and it's not on it that I know of.
That I know of. I haven't really deep dived into that, but yeah, it's a big conversation right now with so many of these like book to movie adaptations happening that it's like give us those scenes anyways, but make it like an extended cut to where we can.
That'd be awesome.
If we purchased it and we want to watch it for 4 or 5 hours, we can, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, or just like all the deleted scenes, just every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be buying this on physical anyway.
Oh, 100%.
So I'll be looking for that. Okay, so I think I had mentioned the movie opens with him coming out of the coma, and he's already on the spaceship, and it's a long scene, a long sequence of scenes where there's no real dialogue. There's a couple like funny little comments here and there. And it's just him exploring the ship. And I thought it was really well done because not only does it it launch you right into the story, but it allows you to get your bearings in a weird way. Like the movie is shocker.
It prepares you.
Shocker. It's going to take place on a ship.
Yeah.
So it literally walks you through every single part of the ship. And there are moments in the beginning where you see an area that you don't get back to for a long time, but like areas like the lab. Very big part of the story. You see it in the beginning and then you get back to it about 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really well done. So he's walking around figuring out, and this sequence right here is a good introduction to everything that we just discussed, but I think it hints at something larger that I realized on the drive home. And I think it's really cool if I'm correct on this. I don't know if I'm right. But while he's waking up, he realizes that the 2 other astronauts that are with him have died. They didn't survive the trip.
Yeah.
The other astronauts that came with him went willingly. They signed up for it. He had to be drugged and captured. I think the reason that he's the only one that survived is because whatever they drugged him with allowed him to get some sort of physical state where whatever killed them, whether it be a toxin or, you know, not getting proper nutrients or rest or whatever rationale, I think what they used to sedate him saved him.
And so do you think it was like an age thing, or do you think it was like maybe like kind of like how Rocky's people died, like it was a radiation problem, or like do you think they were there for so long that they died of like an age, or like what do you?
Well, they put them in comas.
Because that's my question: is how do you think the other 2 astronauts died?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I have no clue. I would like to know.
I would too.
I think whatever they did to him, because it's the only difference.
Yeah.
They're all human. They're, you know, one was male, one was female, so there's not a like a sex reason why they died.
Right.
So I think whatever they put in that tranquilizer might have saved him. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Other than obviously he's the main character.
I will say I loved this story in this movie so much. I have a real itch to read it now, like even more than I did before this movie was coming out. So I maybe by like the end of April I might be able to come back to you and kind of tell you what if like there's any details in the books that gives us like this type of knowledge. Like I'll try to jot that stuff down, so then because I do want to read it.
Maybe there's something in the book on how they passed.
There might be like some of these nitty-gritty questions and stuff that I have. Like I'm wondering if I'm gonna get answers if I read the book. So.
I wonder why he didn't do an autopsy to like figure out why they passed.
He's not a surgeon.
He's a chemist,
but he's not like a doctor.
Yeah,
you know, like
I guess
it's a little different.
Well, he is literally a doctor, but not a medical doctor. Yeah. Okay. So we got through the opening. This is, you know, and then from that part of the film, we then go a couple flashbacks. We get a little bit of background. There's a sun-eating bacteria, which is like terrifying that's a possible thing. There's a lot of really cool science behind that. We're not going to get into the weeds on that because we are not smart enough to talk about that.
No.
It is very cool, and they explain it very well. They give you enough to make you feel smart, and then they move on.
Yeah.
And then from there, he gets to his destination, and there's an alien spaceship, and he is like, I didn't want to be here in the first place. I'm not dealing with that alien. I'm going to try to fly away. There's some really fun comedy with that. What did you think about his first contact and how he handled it? I have some thoughts, but I want to hear yours first.
I liked it because honestly, I feel like it was very human. Like it was
fear, straight fear.
Yeah, like his first reaction was like, nah, I'm not doing this. Like and I think that would be my initial fear, but I think like you can kind of see it in his face, like just the way that his character was like thinking through everything. And it kind of felt like a, well, what else am I gonna do kind of moment. Like, well, F it, you know, like he probably knows he's gonna die out there eventually. So like, why not see what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the vibes that I was getting, and I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. He's braver than I am because I wouldn't have done it. But I love like his initial reaction of like, I see that ship over there, I'm driving away. Like I'm trying to fly away from this thing. There's no way I'm getting anywhere near that thing. Like I thought it was really funny, and it was a very human response to it, which I really liked.
Yeah.
So what was your thoughts?
I had a similar but different opinion because going into this, I expected more Martian.
I think that's your biggest problem. Is you went into it going, this is the Martian.
No, I just had an expectation of like this is going to be a little bit more grounded than it was.
I think it was pretty grounded.
But there was a lot of my point is it's a lot more comedic than the Martian.
Well, yeah.
So him like going away and like the physics of the spaceship being very like rigid.
Mm-hmm.
In space, a lot of things are floaty and there's a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
So it was funny and I enjoyed it. It made for a good movie, but that was one of those moments where you're like, oh, this is one of those films that I'm gonna have to be like, okay, brain, you need to turn off. You can turn it on in some moments. Yeah. You can't go into it being like, this is going to be
the most realistic.
Yeah. This isn't. Yeah. So I enjoyed it, but I also was like, oh, okay, now I know what I'm in for.
Yeah.
And then I think it was a good tone set.
Yeah.
They set the tone from the very beginning with him like popping his head up every 5 seconds through the corridors.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was so funny. Yeah,
that is one of the main points I need to make in my review too, is like this is a comedy.
Yeah.
This is not a
It's supposed to just be a good time.
Yeah. And it is. It succeeds in
Until it like, makes you depressed, but it's fine.
Yeah. Or Rocky. So he makes first contact, and then they develop like this language system that I'm curious what you thought again, because this was another moment where my brain goes, oh, this is going to be like a long process. He's going to have to like figure out how he gets the sounds and what they all mean. And it's going to be a very long thing.
Yeah.
And they kind of shortened it quite a bit.
I think this was probably a point in the book that was a lot longer than the movie.
Yeah.
I think for movie magic's sake, they cut probably a good chunk of it. I haven't read it again, so I don't really know, but I can imagine it's probably more detailed in the book, and in the movie it's kind of like, well, we've got down 200 something words, like he's got it pretty much, and it goes from he knows a couple words into now he has 200. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I liked that it was quick, because then it gave more time for some of the more dramatic scenes that were to come. But I did have a small issue with it at first, only because I didn't understand how Rocky could understand everything that he was saying. Like it should be like both.
It should be.
Like, how does Rocky know what he's saying? Because he clearly understood what Ryan Gosling's character was saying.
It appears that his alien species is a lot more advanced than we are.
They're more intelligent. So maybe some, but like, he's clearly never seen a human before.
Right.
Because he's just as scared as Grace is.
You're correct. It should have gone both ways.
Yeah.
But you're also correct in everything else you said, which is they needed to show you the highlights and they needed to get it going.
Exactly. Because if they would have spent any more time on it, I think it would have gotten really boring, and like it would have gotten old really quick. So it's like, it's a toss up, because it's like, it doesn't totally make sense, but it's one of those moments you just have to be like, okay, but let's just move on.
Yeah.
Because it's important, but it's not like the scenes you're there to watch,
Yeah, I mean, there's literally a movie called Arrival with Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner, where an alien lands down, and the entire movie is how do we communicate with this alien? Yeah. They spend an hour and a half trying to figure out a language. So
Wait, what is it called?
It's called Arrival. It's that big orb thing.
Yeah, with like the like watermark.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
You've seen that?
I have.
I
actually.
love that movie.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, it's really good, and there's a lot of
is.
stuff you can explore within that, like humanity, language.
But that's not
what's
the point
universal.
of this movie.
Correct. So I like the fact that they shortened it.
Yeah.
But it was another one of those moments where I'm like, okay, stop thinking too hard.
Yes.
Just enjoy what's on the screen because what you're getting is really good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. From here on, since we kind of talked about the setup and what to expect and things, do you want to just go into like your favorite beats? Do you want to just, stream of consciousness, whatever you thought? Because I don't want to break it down fully.
Well, do you want to just straight up go into like some of the questions that I had? Because I'm sure that'll just start conversations.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll start with questions that like kind of start from the beginning of the movie, and I'll go as it goes. My first question was how long, I don't know if they said it, maybe I missed it. Do you know how long he was in a coma for? Like, was that ever said? Because
I think it was said, but I don't remember.
It literally opens up with him not knowing anything. Like, he basically has amnesia. Like, he does not know who he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know how he got there.
The mission, nothing.
So I don't know if it was ever said how long he was in the coma. So I was just curious if I had just missed it.
I think they said it was like a 10-year journey.
Yeah, but like we don't know how long he was in space.
10 years. I'm saying it took 10 years to get there.
Oh, to get there. So you think he was in a coma for 10 years?
I think. Well, remember, so this is another thing that I was having a hard time with because I've seen too many movies.
Yeah.
The issue with him getting stranded and dying in space was that he was going to run out of fuel. It wasn't a distance thing. Like they were actually pretty close to where they were going. So if he had enough fuel 10 years there, 10 years back, he would be, 20 years older, but he would survive.
Mm-hmm.
The issue was the fuel. So I don't think they were that far away.
No, I think he made it.
What's up?
To the place that he needed to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why he woke up, because the thing woke him up, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying is it wasn't that far away from Earth. I think it was within like 5 to 10 years that it would take to get there. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. When he gets the killing amoeba, it's only a 4-year journey back. Right? That's what he says at the end.
Because he got extra whatever it's called from Rocky.
Yeah, but wouldn't he have the same amount going there? So wouldn't it just be 4 years?
No.
No?
No. They didn't even have that much because it.
Right?
I don't know.
Okay, well let's just in our heads go.
No, I think because he was trying to calculate how much he would need to get there within his food supply. Because his food supply was only like 4 years. Like that's how much he had left. So I think he like had calculated how much of that stuff. I don't even remember what the stuff is called. I already forgot. But like how much he would need of that stuff to get home within the food supply. Because like if he can't get home and he's running out of food, there's no point.
Right.
I
don't think it was that far though.
I feel like it was.
Okay, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was my first question. My second question is, do you think he ever, do you think at any point of the movie, do you think he ever remembered, what happened to him?
I think when we see the flashback is when he remembers.
Because I had just realized, he didn't even know his name. He knew his last name was Grace, but, did he think his first name was Grace that whole time? Did he ever know his first name? Because he never said his first name. Ever. It always said Grace, even though his name is Ryland Grace.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about his name.
His last name's cool. But even Rocky calls him Grace. So I was just curious if he ever actually remembered his first name. Because he never used his first name. He always said Grace. And Grace is a girl and it's cool. It's a girl name. So I was just curious.
I do think
you think he did remember at some point.
Well, for clarity, it is confirmed that when the flashbacks happen, it is when he's remembering because there's a moment where he remembers that the tools don't work in zero gravity. And then we get that flashback and we cut back to him. Yeah, his equipment doesn't work in zero gravity. He has to turn on the centrifuge that will keep him and make artificial gravity.
Yeah, but even though he knew those things, remember how in the very beginning he didn't know anything, but he had pointed to something and he goes, "Oh, that's a blah blah blah." And he goes, "Wait, how do I know that?"
Correct.
Like he still knows the like smarts about it, but he doesn't know like how he got there, who he was, what his name was.
Yeah, all I was saying is they get that flashback, and then as soon as that flashback ends that give us the information, he claps. And when he claps is when he has an idea. So it confirmed that he just had that idea. And then after he claps, he goes and turns on the gravity. So, yeah. All right. Good questions, though. These are good questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If I have any more questions.
That's all you got? His name and...
No, I had a couple...
Okay.
I had a couple other, but I think I like tried not to say it. Okay, one of my other questions was he able to grow food on Rocky's planet at the very end? Or do you think...
Oh, yeah. Where does he get food?
Right. Because if he runs out, if he has a 4-year span and he runs out of food within... First off, we don't know how long he was at Rocky's place.
Well, they created water.
Yeah, but Rocky can build things in 2 seconds. We have learned that time and time again.
Right.
But yes, they did create water. But it doesn't mean they have... Do they have sunlight? Because it was all a fixed environment.
Correct.
Okay, but like without sun, you can't grow food.
Yeah, but you can... If they can synthesize water, then they can make food.
How?
Just like chemically. They can create food if they
can create water. Can you chemically create sunlight?
If you're Superman.
I don't know if you can. I'm not a scientist. I don't know these answers, but I just think it would be a little bit... I was just curious. Was he able to grow food on Rocky's planet? Like, how do you do that without sunlight? Maybe they do have sunlight on their planet.
I mean, even on Earth, we can make artificial sunlight with UV rays and we can grow plants inside.
I guess that's true. So I didn't think about that.
I mean, he created soil and he has water.
That is true.
So they could just give him UV light.
Okay. So we're going to assume yes.
He is alive.
He was able to grow food on Rocky's planet.
So.
All right, cool.
You get so hyper fixated on these little small details that I just keep going past.
Well, because my whole thing is like, okay. Before we knew that he was able to live on Rocky's planet, what was like, do you think he ever thought about like, I'm gonna go save Rocky and stay with Rocky, but like I might run out of food in 4 years.
Yeah, he definitely thought about it.
But he didn't care. He just wanted to save Rocky.
In the end of the movie, he writes on his whiteboard and he does the 2 possibilities. I can go back to Earth or I can save Rocky. And he goes, I can only do one.
Well, yeah,
meaning
I know that.
Whatever he chooses, that's it.
I know.
If he goes to Earth, he survives and he saves Earth, but Rocky dies. If he goes and saves Rocky, chances are he dies.
Yeah.
And he picked saving Rocky. Why?
Which is really sweet.
Why? Because he's brave.
Because he's brave, or is it because he finally had someone to die for?
That too.
Because that was a clear moment that they had brought up earlier when we were talking with the astronauts, and the guy was like, you just have to find someone to be brave for.
Yep.
And Rocky was his guy. It was so cute.
He picked a rock.
It was so cute. I loved it so much.
Speaking of that, though, like cute moments, my favorite line in the entire movie is when he asks Rocky, how long have you known your mate? And he goes 158 years or something like that. And Ryan goes, Grace.
A long time.
Grace goes, that's a long time. And Rocky goes, not long enough. And I'm like, oh, Rocky's romantic, dude.
So cute.
Little romantic rock.
Oh my gosh. I loved that answer. I say that a lot. Because you're like, he says this a lot where he'll be like, well, you're going to be with me forever. And I'm like, but that's not long enough. Yeah.
Would you say this is a good couples movie? In a weird way?
Yeah.
I think it is.
I think, well, it's because it's a good bonding moment, like, between 2 characters.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, it's a good bonding moment between the person that you're, like, watching it with.
Well, I think it's got the sci-fi for the dudes, and it's got the cute little character for the girls,
100%.
and it's got, like, a little bit of a romance plot in it.
Yeah.
Like it's
with
just,
like him naming a planet after his mate. Oh my god, so cute.
Yeah. Also, speaking of, sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Speaking of romance plot, Is him and the director doing it?
I don't know.
Were they doing it?
No,
they
I don't
do
think
it?
they were doing it.
I think they were gonna do it.
No.
I think she liked them.
Well, yeah, I think so too, and I think that's why it was so hard for her to do what she did. Because you could tell she struggled with that decision. Like,
Yeah.
she wanted him to be agreeable because she knew that she was gonna have to do what she did, but she clearly didn't want to. You can tell. You could see the struggle.
Well, I mean, she is the definition of compartmentalization when you have the task of suicide mission or Earth dies.
Yeah.
So it's like either you kill people willingly
Yeah.
and you just have no choice, or the entire population dies. It's the
Right.
Star Trek quote of one life isn't worth the many, or something
Mhm.
like that. Or no,
Yeah.
I really just butchered that. The
Never
many,
seen it.
the needs of the many outweigh the needs of a few is the quote, which means do what's best for the majority of people, and that's what she had to do.
Yeah.
And crazy. Did you expect? Like, because this movie's unfolding, and I'm like, okay, we had the 3 astronauts. They selected people. How did Ryan Gosling's character get on the ship?
Yeah.
Did you expect something to happen where they blew up the entire base?
No, I
That
wasn't
was
expecting.
crazy.
Also, can we talk about that scene for a second? Because that looked so cool.
Looks really good.
The way that, like, you see the explosion in the background, but then you just, like, slowly start seeing it, like, pummel towards fire.
And it's silent.
It looked so cool.
Yeah. I'm
So
gonna
cool.
say something crazy,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, because this
Oh,
was
God.
like the thing when they're talking
Oh,
about
God.
Oppenheimer,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, no CGI was used. This was a practical explosion.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm sorry. The explosion in this movie, when that base erupted, knocks the dick off of the atom bomb in Oppenheimer.
Wow, that's a big say.
It just does. It looks better. If
It
it was
felt
given
more
the same amount of
impactful.
build up, it would have been more impactful.
Yeah.
It would have. You cut me off. I was gonna
Sorry.
say impactful. I was so close.
I'm so sorry. We're like the same person.
But it was like, it was very impactful. And
Yeah.
if they would have given it the same build up of like, we're gonna go to war if this bomb doesn't work, like, I mean,
Yeah.
Zoe's right. It was phenomenal.
That scene was just like, whoa. It was really, really cool. Like, not, I mean, it wasn't cool because, like, people died, but it was a really cool scene to watch. It was, yeah, the effects on that was wild. Anyways, what I was gonna say earlier before you started talking about that stuff.
That stuff.
That stuff, yeah. Because we were talking about Rocky. I think them having a puppet for Rocky was really good. It was a really good move. At first, because I knew it was a puppet, I was like, but it was just like my brain overthinking all of it. And once I like got past that part, this is one of the issues with this movie, and it's like very minuscule because it only takes like a couple minutes to get past it. But like, I think your brain wants to overthink a lot of the things that go on in this film.
Yes.
And you have to like let it go. You have to just kind of skip past the overthinking a little bit and just enjoy it instead of like overanalyzing everything. But I think that was my problem with Rocky at like a couple minutes in, was I knew that it was a puppet and I knew that there was like 6 guys manning this puppet.
Oh,
so
really?
like, yeah. So like every little movement he did, I was like, that's not real. That's someone moving it.
I think it's a similar thing with like Baby Yoda too, because Baby Yoda is also a puppet. I think it's a blend. I think it's a blend of practical and CGI.
I think it is too. Yeah.
Well, it has to be for the action scenes.
Yeah. But after the few minutes of me getting over that part, I think it was probably one of the best moves that they could have done with Rocky, because it just felt more personal. Like you were able to you didn't have to like decipher between the two because they were literally there in the scene together. Nothing ever really felt off or awkward or weird. I have a really big problem with like CGI characters and animals with like a film that's not with other CGI characters. Like
you
if
should watch Avatar.
No.
Yeah, you would love it.
No, that's why I don't like it. It's also a big part of why I hated The Flash. CGI babies are flying out of this. It looked horrible.
That was
Anyways,
cinema.
it was not good.
He saved him with a microwave.
But I have a really big problem with that. Like, if the main character is like a real human person and then the rest is like CGI, I just struggle with it. But anyways, because it's a puppet, I didn't feel that way with this, and I really loved that. And I had a really good time with his character, for sure. I had a blast with it.
Rocky's great.
It just felt so personal that he was like actually physically there, which was really cool.
Yeah. And I think more on that, the fact that this movie takes place realistically, if you take Earth out of the equation, like all the flashbacks, this movie really takes place in one location, which is the spaceship,
which is really cool.
And making that be practical,
and
making that be something that you also, like Zoe said, don't have to differentiate between real and kind of like blurring the line between fake.
Yeah.
I think was a really good decision.
Yeah. I also, you didn't watch it, which is really disappointing, but Ryan Gosling went on New Heights and talked about how it made it easier for him as an actor as well, especially with the scenes with Rocky, because he like wasn't just having to talk to like either a person in a green screen suit or like just a random blank space. Like he said that he felt like he actually had a rock alien best friend sometimes on set, because like it just felt even personal for him, which I think is really cool. And it shows too, like just his acting in general felt more emotional and more in depth, because I think he actually had a genuine emotional reaction to this little puppet.
Yeah, it was kind of impressive how much they make you care about the Rock.
100%. It's super cool.
And they made him like all but human. So they did a lot of heavy lifting with his voice and stuff to make him feel real.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I don't want to talk about him like for this whole time, even though he is a big part of it. But in the movie aspect of it, I also wanted to say I loved what they did with him, and I'm sure they describe it this way in the book as well. But I loved that he was realistic in the sense that other life is possible, but it may not require the same resources as humans. I thought that was a really interesting take, because like I feel like when you picture humans or when you picture aliens now, it's like either like little green guys, or you picture like they look like us. They probably are just like us, just on another planet. And I liked that not only did he not look like us, he didn't sound like us, and he didn't require the same things as us. Like I don't think he required oxygen, but he also like needed the warmth, he needed the heat, like he needed specific things to be alive. And it was very continuous throughout the film. I also like how they foreshadowed it. Did you catch that?
Foreshadow what?
It was Carl, which love Carl, he was super funny. Carl had mentioned something about talking about the cells or whatever, and how he was like, well, what if they need that specific element on Venus, the CO2 or whatever it was there.
Oh yeah.
Like it was low-key a foreshadow for Rocky, because Rocky was there, he was alive, he was a living thing, but he required what was at that planet, not what we had. So it was like a very subtle foreshadowing to that, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it was also nice too that because he can't live in Earth's atmosphere, it increased the stakes, because
100%.
like you couldn't just take him home.
Yeah. You
couldn't take him home and then be like, yeah, we'll take you back, or
well, like especially in the scene when like everything's going down, like when they're too close to that planet and gravity's trying to take over the ship, and
and he can't help. Yeah,
he can't help, because he knows that if he leaves that like little bubble he has for himself, like he'll most likely die.
Right.
So the stakes on that is just like dramatically increased, because it's like, well, they either both die or he risks it.
Yep.
And it works really well for this film.
100%. Okay, besides Rocky, what other things were your favorite? You have any favorite moments? We talked about quite a few of them already.
Yeah, we did. I don't have like any like specific moment, because I just loved all of it, to be honest.
It was really good.
There's not like one specific moment that really jumps out for me, because I I just loved it. I think my favorite part, like as a whole, is just the humor in it. Like,
Yeah.
I laughed a lot more than I thought I was going to in this film, and I really enjoyed it. You need that kind of comedic relief with how heavy some of these scenes feel.
Yeah.
And it worked really well. I think my favorite scene is probably when Rocky comes back from like no, that's a lie. My favorite scene is the scene when they're in the whatever the screen room and they start talking about his mate. I think that's probably my favorite scene because that was
Yeah,
really
that
cute.
was a good moment.
It was really cute.
That was really good.
But then my second favorite would be when he came back to life, basically, and Ryan like gives him a big hug. It's really cute.
Yeah, him
And he
learning what
hugs
a
him
hug
back.
was.
So cute.
I was waiting for him to be like, Ryan was like explaining what a hug was, and then they hug, and then he goes, "How do you know when it's over?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "You just feel it." I was expecting Rocky to go like, "Okay, I feel like it's over."
Yeah.
Like there's something funny.
Well, he did though, kind of. He was like, "Do you feel it?"
Yeah. But
So
I
do
was
you feel
expecting
it?
him to
He
pull
was like,
away
"Not yet."
and Ryan be sad. He was like, "Oh." But yeah.
It was so funny. There's
Okay.
so many good moments.
So that's.
Do you have a favorite moment?
I think my favorite moment was the not long enough
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
That was really
cute.
good.
It was really like sentimental and personal and like
Yeah.
good.
And then
bonding
probably
moment.
the ending where he's on the alien planet. I thought that was a really good way to end
It was
it.
really cool. It was a really cool ending.
Those are probably my two favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. We've spoke very highly about this. We're very positive on the movie. We liked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Before we rank it above or below The Martian, which is the goalpost, and I'm going to go, Zoe hasn't seen these movies. She hasn't seen Interstellar and things like that.
Oh.
I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to rank it in the pantheon of sci-fi films.
Okay.
I've
seen The Martian.
Right. We haven't seen Interstellar.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Before we get there,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk on some of the negatives.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a few negatives.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason that I don't think it's a perfect film. One of my negatives, I was let down by the action.
Really?
Yeah. I have a thing, and I think a lot of people agree with me on this. I don't like shaky cam.
Yeah, he does.
I think shaky cam takes away from the film. There are moments
I didn't feel
when
like
you're trying to induce
though.
anxiety, when you're trying to induce stress, which this film obviously was with the action. There are moments where you should use it. I don't think it should be the entire scene.
Was it shaky or was it there was just a lot of movement? Because there's a difference, in my opinion. They're shaky as in like they literally can't like there it's like this.
Right.
Or was it just like there was a lot of like whipping around?
I think it was a mixture.
Because I didn't notice any shakiness. Because shakiness usually bothers me too. But I felt like there was a lot of whipping around in the sense that it flowed with what was happening. You know? So there's like shaky cameras as in like there's like running scenes. And it's just
right.
You can't, nothing's in focus. Because
Correct.
it's just like, but I felt like this, like the movement moved with what was actually happening in like a smooth way. Like it felt like it was still on a rig or something. And like, they were just, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but
I think overall the thing that I'm talking about was definitely, like Zoe was alluding to, an artistic choice.
Yeah.
Where it does flow with the action, and there are a lot of times where it is easy to see the things like shaky cam like we're talking about. Nothing's in focus.
No,
it's impossible to see what's happening on the screen, and it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
This wasn't quite that, but it got close to that for me, and it's an artistic choice and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And on a cinematography level, I think they did a good job. It was well intentioned. I just didn't enjoy it.
I just loved the parts where like it happened a couple times, but I loved the scenes where they like flipped it sideways and then like whatever scene he was like, say he was like in space and he was sideways, and then they would like blend it into like him sitting in a chair like in an office or something in the present, and then they'd flipped it back. I was just like, that is so cool. Yeah, so cool.
It's a very well shot movie, and I think everything aside from the action, when they do those very cool camera whips and transitions and sometimes a little bit of shakiness, I think it works really well, and I really like it. It's a very well made film.
But there was a little too much for you.
Yeah, and then piggybacking off of that, the scene towards the end where they're trying to get out of the gravity, and he smacks his face on the console.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only part of the movie that I thought was too long, where it's just strobing. It's like red and white strobing.
I thought that was gonna get to you. Yeah.
I get bad migraines, poor me, whatever. Light, I'm very sensitive to light. It felt to me, I know it probably wasn't. It felt like 5 minutes. It felt like that's how intense it was. Like, boom, 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 like beating you in the eyeballs.
It wasn't that bad.
I didn't like it.
He gets migraines. He's sensitive to light. So yes, I can see it. It didn't bother me though.
Yeah. That didn't bother you?
No. You
thought that was just cool to look at?
I mean, it wasn't like that intense.
Really?
It was, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's why it's important to have two different perspectives. Because if you have light colored eyes like me, I have like baby green eyes.
That's the thing. Yeah. The darker your eyes, the easier light is on them. Because you have like an extra... The reason why your eyes are darker is because you have like an extra film of color over your lenses, and it's easier for you to perceive light. That's why a lot of blue-eyed people need sunglasses more than brown-eyed people do outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see how that affect you. If you have blue eyes, maybe wear some sunglasses to the movie.
Or just don't be like me and be tough. Don't be a wuss like me. Be tough. Apparently.
Or just like don't stare at it if it's bothering you.
I did have to look away at something.
I noticed. I was worried. I thought you were getting a migraine. I was like, oh god, the lights are getting to him.
Nah, that's fine.
But
anyway, so
any
that was
other negatives?
I have one more.
Okay.
And it turned into a positive, but I felt like it ran the risk of not sticking the landing. I was very terrified because we're watching this, and I thought it was going to be another case of The Running Man, where it's a fantastic movie, and then you get to the ending, and the ending ruins it.
Yeah.
But I had faith because Andy Weir is a phenomenal writer, and I knew this was based on a story that everybody loves. So I figured if you love the story, it's not going to be a bad ending. So I hung in there. They do stick the landing. Mm-hmm. Now, the part where I was worried was there was a lot of like heart jerking back and forth.
Yeah.
When he hit his face on the console, I thought he was dead. I thought he died.
No, I thought he just passed out.
Well, he
I thought Rocky died.
I thought Rocky died as well.
Because even Ryan's character is like, Rocky! And I'm like, oh my god, he's not moving.
Yeah, and amid, the club strobing lights, you see him literally melting. Like the atmosphere is literally burning him alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, Ryan didn't die, but Rocky died. Okay, cool. And then, no, none of them died. And then it's like, oh, well, now we don't have fuel. You don't have a fuel tank, so you can't get home. So you're also dead again. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, wait, Rocky's gonna fix it. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, okay, we went our separate ways. Oh no, they broke through the container. Now we're screwed again.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now Rocky's dead.
Yeah.
It was very back and forth. The way they ended it, I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done, but I was holding on. I'm like, please don't mess this movie up. I want to buy this and rewatch this. Don't mess it up. And
the way that you looked over at me and you go, I think he's going to die, changed my whole, I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God. I was so nervous because I wasn't even thinking about that. I was like, there's no way after all the things that they just put him through, there's no way he's going to die. And then you saying that, I was like, I didn't even think about that. That wasn't even a possibility in my brain. So.
My dad does that stuff to me, and I try really hard not to do that. But I really, like, with the music, with the way they were shooting that scene.
It made me anxious.
I really thought...
It scared me.
I thought what was going to happen, in my head, it already played out. I'm like, okay, the ship he's on goes back to Earth. They get what they needed, but they find him on a bed, dead. Like, something happened to him. His body gave out. He didn't survive the journey. But no, he literally has enough energy to go all the way back to Rocky and save him.
I loved that because I was like, I was sad for him. I was like the only person, and he wasn't even really a person because he was a rock alien. But it's like
there are people too.
The only person that he like truly connected with in his lifetime, like in his life recently, he has to say goodbye to. And it just like, it made me so sad for him. It made me so sad for Rocky because like almost all the people that he cared about other than his mate obviously was like gone, and he had to deal with that too, like on a ship by himself. So it's just like, it just made me so sad that they had to part ways. So I really loved how they were able to go back and find each other, and how it like tied, the ending tied with the whole him going to space in the first place, where it was like, can I think about it?
Yeah.
And in the beginning, the girl's like, you have 3 hours, but then Rocky's like, take all the time you need.
He's like, please think about it a long time.
Yeah.
Please stay. Please
so
stay.
Cute.
So I do wish we got to see his mate.
I know, that would have been kind of cool.
That'd have been cool. Like they're holding hands or doing some weird alien stuff.
Yeah.
Last thing, and then if you want to, you can talk about your negatives. If you have any. I don't feel like you have any. What did you think of Rocky's ship? I was a little underwhelmed.
I mean, it works for him, I guess. It was. I wasn't. You said you were underwhelmed?
I was a little underwhelmed.
I wasn't underwhelmed because it was massive and it was like clearly made out of the stuff that like he has on his planet.
Correct.
I wasn't underwhelmed only because I wasn't really expecting to see any of it. So when we did see it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like it's just a ship. I don't know. It works for him. It's not gonna look like anything. It's not gonna look like anything cool or interesting to us because we don't understand it.
Right.
It's something that is new to us. It's something that it's their materials, it's their layout, it's their everything. So like I wasn't expecting anything from it. Like I wasn't overwhelmed or underwhelmed or anything because it was like we just don't understand it. Like it's probably the coolest, most decked out ship in the whole world, but like we wouldn't know that, you know. To us it's just a blob of metals. So.
Or it's alien.
Yeah.
That was great. I was holding that in so bad.
Boo.
Yeah, no, I had exactly what you just talked about. I had happen in my brain while I was watching it. I'm like, oh, this is like the ship. It's like all wireframey and like it looks like nothing. And then I'm like, no, stupid. It's literally an alien spaceship.
Yeah.
You just how Rocky doesn't understand our technology, we wouldn't understand theirs.
Yeah.
So now is that inconsistent with the language barrier? Yes. But visually I did appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, okay. Any negatives you want to touch on, or do you want to get right into the ranking?
I don't really have any negatives because, like, I've already kind of talked about the things I didn't like, but it was, like, so minuscule that it doesn't really affect how I feel about the film. So.
Okay.
It's just me being nitpicky.
Yeah, same here. I mean, everything I complain about.
But it doesn't, like, affect my score the way it affects yours. You're
Correct.
nitpicky, but then you also dropped the score. I'm nitpicky, but I'm like keeping it the score that I want to keep it at because I know that like that it doesn't really bother me. I'm just like trying to find something to talk about, you know?
I gave it a 9, so I'm not like, it's not like I'm dropping it to a 6.
I gave it a 10.
Okay. Yeah. So, spoiler alert for our spoiler review.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you rank this in relation to The Martian? And any other sci-fi movies you might have seen?
I think it's probably my favorite. Well, okay. Are we counting the Hunger Games as sci-fi? Or is that dystopian fantasy?
I think technically Hunger Games would be sci-fi, but
it's more on the dystopian fantasy side.
Well, I mean, so is Star Wars. Star Wars is a dystopian fantasy.
But like you don't go into space.
That's what I was going to say. I think keep it like the genre of space sci-fi.
Okay. Then it's my favorite one I've seen.
Nice.
I really liked The Martian, but if I'm being so honest, it's not one that I find that I'm thinking about a lot. Like it's not it like if it gets brought up or I see like the book or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a really good film. Like I really genuinely enjoyed that movie. And I would watch it again for sure. But I think like just with this having Rocky and the comedy aspect of it and like how much fun it like had like the amount of fun I had watching it is definitely one that I can see myself just being like, man, I really want to watch that movie again. Like just the amount of fun it was. So
that's another really good. You're on fire today. That is another really good point. I think this is more rewatchable than The Martian.
100%. Because if you just want like a good laugh, but like something that's still action, like it's a great one to go back and be like, you know what? I want to watch that again. I need something to like just have fun.
Yeah, it's the movie that if you walk by and it's on the TV, you're probably going to hang out longer than you should have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas The Martian, like The Martian's really good, but it's also really serious. And you're not always going to be in the mood for like a pretty serious, like grounded movie like that.
All right. That's Zoe's ranking.
Yeah.
Now my ranking of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time, including Project Hail Mary. Number 1, Martian. Number 2, Project Hail Mary. Number 3, Interstellar.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do want to watch Interstellar though.
I think Interstellar benefits a lot from being a Christopher Nolan movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the best directors of all time.
If Christopher Nolan, he didn't do this one, right?
No.
If he did do this one, what direction do you think he would have taken differently?
He would have made it much more serious. I think there would have been probably like 5 jokes total.
So it was, so it worked out for the better. That
there would have been a lot more of the space cinematic shots.
Yeah. Are you aware of which movies this director has done?
I'm not. This would be a good thing to know. Do you have that prepared?
I do. I wrote down a list. They probably did more, but I wrote down the most popular ones. Lego Movie.
No way.
21 and 22 Jump Street. And Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
I see the comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's that like same kind of like dry humor, but like also like just comedic timing. You know, great comedic timing, I think works really well.
Ryan Gosling is severely underrated with his comedy.
He is. He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
I'm so happy that you actually convinced me to watch Nice Guys. I want to watch it again. You want to watch it?
You guys don't understand the amount of effort
I actually love that movie.
and sheer will that it took for her to actually watch that. We turned it on one night, and granted, it wasn't the moment for her to watch it. She was not ready to watch something new.
No, I wasn't.
And we instantly turned, and spoilers for The Nice Guys, it opens with a porn star flying off of the cliff and dying, and she's literally in the nude. So, like, not something to show your girlfriend to, when she's not ready for it.
When she's, not in the mood.
But she did. Credit to Zoe. After much fighting and clawing.
Not fighting. Not really.
Protest. We'll call it protest.
Okay.
After much protest, she watched it and enjoyed it. And I think that movie showcases Ryan Gosling's talents.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I genuinely think it's one of my favorite things I've seen him in for sure.
Yeah.
This and Project Hail Mary. But.
Yeah. Okay. I gave my rankings.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to clarify, because I'm going to get hate for it. Interstellar's phenomenal. I do think Christopher Nolan is amazing. However, his movies are very heavy. They're very slow. They're very intentional.
Yeah.
And they are cinema.
Yes.
I'm not always in the mood for that.
Yes.
I think The Martian is the perfect blend between the Christopher Nolan cinema and fun popcorn flick. And I think Project Hail Mary is more to the fun, which is why I put it above Interstellar.
Yeah.
They're all phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, Star Wars, get that shit out of here. Nobody wants that. Anyway.
Can I say one more thing?
We got to wrap this up.
Ryan Gosling will be in a Star Wars movie.
Supposedly.
Soon.
People are very worried it's not going to be made.
No, I'm pretty sure it's already
finished.
Made. Yeah, he talked about it on New Heights, and it should be coming out this year.
Oh.
Yep.
I've seen people worried that it's not going to actually come out.
No, it will come out. He's confirmed that it's coming out this year. But it's not going to be like an actual like a part. It's looking like it might be kind of what they're doing with Pedro Pascal, where it's like gonna be a part of the franchise, but it's not gonna be like a direct storyline.
Yeah, it's not a main movie.
Yes,
it's like Rogue One.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because it's like he's a fighter pilot, right?
Sure.
I think he's a fighter. It's like
he didn't go too much into detail. He just said that he was going to be a part of the universe and it was coming out this year.
I think he works really well in Star Wars.
Guess we'll see.
Star Wars has a little bit of that comedic edge, and it's not that serious, huh?
I haven't seen a single Star Wars anything.
You haven't seen anything Star Wars?
No, it's lame.
I mean, I agree, it's not the greatest, but I'm Star Trek through and through. So, and you would probably like that even less.
Yeah.
Did you just say it's the same?
I said all of it's lame.
Good save. Good save.
I didn't say same.
That
Roll
would
the
be
tape. I said lame.
That would be grounds for divorce.
All right. Well, we're not married, so.
Well, if you want to get there, don't be disrespecting Star Trek. All right.
Anyways.
So that has been our long and very fun very thorough spoiler review
Yeah.
of Project Hail Mary. We
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Had a great time. Probably the
How
most
long
fun.
have we been talking?
We've been live for literally 59 minutes and 30 seconds.
That just shows you how much we liked this film. If we sat here and talked about it for an hour, which is almost half the movie,
Oh my God.
then you should go watch it if you haven't already.
One of my favorite comments is when you see like podcasts that do movie reviews and the comments are a video longer than the actual movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but that's also like the beautiful thing about movies is you can talk about them for so long. And it's, you know, the saying like a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Well, a movie is worth like 1,001 words. So, because it moves. Did you know movies move? It's a moving
That's
picture.
a crazy concept.
Wow. And some of them are good and some of them are bad.
No way.
This one was a good one.
It was
Star
very
Wars
good.
is a bad one. I'm just trying to get people mad. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. If you did, hopefully this was a good review. We don't know until we watch it back.
Felt good to get it off my chest. So.
Yeah. All right. Peace. Oh, yeah. If you've seen it, you get it.
Yeah, if you get it. If you know, you know.